on the shoreline.
Charter Business, Dash for Cash.
Charter Business, H1 Unlimited's Dash for Cash. All swimmers.
The 6, Oh Boy Alberto. The 1, Oh Boy Alberto. Excuse me, Steve David. Behind him, the 95 Gold Cup champion, Spirit of Qatar, with Kip Brown.
Bernard in the cockpit of the 95.
Yes, you're right. I forgot to mention that.
The 11, Peterson May.
Take the wheel. They're trying to get a little bit more qualified.
Tom Thompson at the wheel.
And we are inside the 5-minute
Jeff Bernard is the pilot of the Qatar for the Dash for Cash.
Michael, has Kathy Powell still got a set of ears on up there?
The 9, Team Red Dot, Jon Zimmerman, the Rocket Man.
I would take that as a no. 4:30 until our start. Now the guys are going to come down here. We'll see how they play it with the 1 minute. All right, are we back?
Yep.
We had a bit of a technical problem there.
Yeah,
we did.
Hold on down there. Let's leave the sound effects to those hydroplanes out on the water.
All right now coming down the front straightaway here, we got Jeff Bernard in the 95 Spirit of Qatar. He comes down here first. He's got in his right side rear view mirror just outside of him Steve David in the Alberto. Then here comes
37 Beacon Plumbing with J. Michael Kelly.
Driving the bright orange Beacon Plumbing. And then just to his right, the Chartreuse and Blue Peterson May with Tom Thompson. Coming to you, Tony. Nice to have more than a couple H1 Unlimiteds on the water at the same time. Let's go racing.
Yes, indeed, and the lanes are definitely being defined as these big boats are making their way through.
Now, did you guys know there are lane assignments for this race?
I had not heard that. I did not heard.
Yeah, we have the 95 with Jeff Bernard in lane 1, Spirit of Qatar. Lane 2 will be Steve David in the Oh Boy Alberto, the 1. Lane 3 will be the 9, Red Dot with Jon Zimmerman. Lane 4 will be the 37, Beacon Plumbing with J. Michael Kelly. And the 11 will be on the outside, the Peterson May with Tom Thompson. So lanes have been assigned for this Dash for Cash.
Yeah, I had heard that down here in the pit area. There was a little bit of confusion who was going to be in what lane, so I didn't take any hot notes on it. And that's why I said we'll kind of wait and see how they play this 1 minute buoy, because there's really not a lot of strategy down here. But I think they'll play this by the rules, stay behind that buoy at the 1 minute mark, and then run up toward the west end. And you guys can talk about 5 H1 Unlimiteds getting ready to come hard down the front straightaway.
Inside 3 minutes, by the way.
So it's all about the flying start and boat speed at the start-finish line. You don't need to worry about lane position. It's been decided for you.
That's correct.
Boats lining up on the backstretch, coming across the Northern Quest Resort and Casino start-finish line.
Steve David just went very wide on that one. He's probably thinking if I keep my lane clear, I'll have a really nice time through there.
J. Michael Kelly with a slow ride across the start-finish line. On the backstretch, we have Jeff Bernard in the 95 Spirit of Qatar. Steve David is heading up towards turn 3, and Rob Francis up there, the Avalon Health and Rehab turn 3.
Yeah, he's just gliding nice, easy, taking that turn in his lane. Spirit of Qatar doing the same, just steady riding, getting ready for that. 1-1. Yep, 1-1, just getting ready for that gun to start the Dash for Cash. They're not pushing anything right now.
This is the calm before the storm for the Charter Business Dash for Cash, and the money that's on the line, so you can, maybe buy part of a new propeller, or maybe a bleeder valve, or whatever you might need.
And it is starting to get a bit lumpy down here, guys. There are some waves, so we'll watch that as they exit out of the turn 1 into this first turn.
30 seconds. Interesting to see how J. Michael Kelly's going to play this 1 minute buoy, because there's still 28 seconds, and he's actually slowed way down. He's way to the outside, and he is actually looking like he's going to play this legit and stay behind the buoy, and no sooner than I say that, he starts to pick up the speed a little bit. So Jon Zimmerman is already clearly past that one.
Score up in 15 seconds.
He went way past it and had to get up and get going again.
Yeah, and J. Michael's already gone through it, too. So
yes, he has.
We're still at 7 seconds from our 1 minute. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. There's your score up. Yeah, the interesting boat here is Jon Zimmerman.
Yep, Red Dot.
Just coming across the start-finish line here. He's going to be behind everybody, so we'll see if he wants to cut the course. There he goes. He will run over to the backstretch, pull in behind everybody, and then you'll slot him into his lane. 45 seconds, guys. I'm ready to go. Bring him home.
It is the Charter Business Dash for Cash, Day 1 of Water Follies 2013, the Lamb-Weston Columbia Cup Hapo Over the River Air Show. Our title sponsor on 610 KLNA Farmers Exchange in downtown Kennewick.
30 seconds.
And the clock is counting. And leading them up the backstretch is going to be the Beacon Plumbing with J. Michael Kelly. He is way out in front, but now the other drivers starting to put their foot in the throttle, Rob.
You have the Peterson May 15. A little bit on the outside. The Oboy Oberto right behind in third as of right now as we get ready for the beginning. But the Oboy Oberto just put a nice move on, and he's
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark.
And it is going to be the Beacon Plumbing leading down the front stretch in lane number 3. Number 2 is Steve David and the Oboy Oberto.
Well, it's Steve David that's going to bring him down here from lane number 2. He's got Jim Bernard up to his left. Steve David
walking on those buses as they come around. Here comes Jim Bernard in the guitar. He's got it and closed it just a bit, but it's Steve David out of the exit pin down the backstretch.
And the Spirit of Guitar on the inside with Jeff Bernard. Here, welcome to the cockpit. Come out and run in a dash for cash in lane number 1. Steve David is leading coming up the backstretch, but Jeff Bernard is putting on a charge in lane number 1.
The Oboy Oberto taking the lead, still holding the lead, excuse me, as we head into turn number 3 with Beacon Plumbing on the outside. It looks like the Spirit of Guitar is falling back to third as he goes to the as he's on the inside lane, but it's tough between the 3 of these boats as they head down the backstretch.
Steve David one way out wide on that corner at the top end of turn number 4, and he'll come across the start-finish line in first place. It is going to be Jeff Bernard and the Spirit of Guitar on the inside, but look at the boat speed on the outside with J. Michael Kelly and the Beacon Plumbing 37.
Yeah, we got 4 of them coming down here pretty close. It's still Steve David, but now Jeff Bernard's about 2 boat lengths behind him.
Zimmerman and Kelly coming to you, Tony. And it is Steve David, but you're right, as they are. Zimmerman just cuts on the inside. J. Michael Kelly trying to catch up. We got 4 boats, and it's going to be an exciting finish as they come down to you, Michael.
And it is deck to deck on the inside. Well, it's actually going to be the Spirit of Guitar with Jeff Bernard trying to catch now Steve David and the Oboy Oberto. Lost at the Rooster Tail on the outside is the 37 Beacon Plumbing with J. Michael Kelly, but it's a dandy coming up to Rob in turn number 3, Avalon Health and Rehab.
Well, he is trying to catch him. He's putting a nice move on him up around on the outside, Michael. The Oboy Oberto's got the inside lane, but he's making a nice move on the outside, the Spirit of Guitar, to try and catch him, but it looks like the Oboy Oberto heading down the back stretch, still holding the lead.
And the white flag is out for the final lap, and it's Steve David and the Oboy Oberto. A little bit of rough water, and a nice job coming up on the inside. It's going to be Jeff Bernard, and he's done a great job in his dash for cash so far in the 95 Spirit of Guitar.
Somebody's got a little bit of pressure going over down here. Don't know who that was. That's Steve David. He's got about 3 or 4 boat lengths. And actually, the pressure's coming from the outside, but Jon Zimmerman, Tony. Jon Zimmerman is right on his backside, but Babe cutting down, and it is Jeff Bernard. Oh, deck to deck, but it will be Steve David just by a half a boat length.
Steve David lost a lot of boat speed in the Oboy Oberto in turn number 2 from Farmers Exchange. On the inside, it's going to be Jeff Bernard in the Spirit of Guitar, the 95. Steve David is leading the charge down the backstretch, but look at Zimmerman come up in the red dot number 9.
Zimmerman's rocking a little bit back and forth on the outside as he's approaching turn 3. Steve David still with a lead. A nice lead right now, but Zimmerman on the outside trying to gain a little bit. The Spirit of Guitar still hanging in there tight.
That's going to be Oberto's race to win right here. Steve David and the Oboy Oberto coming across the start-finish line. The Northern Quest Resort and Casino start-finish line, and winner of our Charter Business Dash for Cash battle for second is going to be Jeff Bernard, followed by Jon Zimmerman in the 9 red dot. A great race to open things up. It was kind of interesting to watch, though. J. Michael Kelly, after a couple of good laps, really fell back in the 37 Beacon Plumbing.
They just saw it racing all the way around, and boy, they did get into some choppy stuff down at this end, but the experience of Steve David, able to find that clear channel, that clear path, and bounce off the top of the rollers. Excellent race.
Steve David had the fastest lap of the event, lap number 3 at 142.750 miles per hour.
Guys, we're here in the order of finish 1:9:95:37. 1:9:95:37.
Oh, what happened to...
He was way behind the 11.
Yeah, well...
The 11's just coming down now. In fact, he may have been the one. You guys were talking earlier about a possible compression problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it was him, though, because when I heard it, it was one of the 4 that was coming down here to the lower corner all together. And Thompson was way behind. I don't think it was him.